Welcome to this tutorial on how to speedrun Puyo Puyo. This video is gonna be taken apart in 3 parts. 1. The basics of the game. 2. Some early progress and intermediate tips to improve your speedruns quickly. And 3. Some expert tips and observation that you can implement by running when running over time on this game. This tutorial is gonna focus on the first installment of Puyo Puyo and the games that derive from it. So that also includes Kirby's Avalanche on the Super Nintendo and Dr. Robotnik's main machine on the Genesis or Mega Drive. Here I'm going to show footage from both Puyo Puyo on the Super Famicom and Dr. Robotnik's main machine. So now we're gonna take off this laptop camera that does not have a good quality, and let's get started. First, we're gonna focus on the basics of the game. So when you open the game, you can have 4 levels of difficulty onto this game. For speedrun, there's gonna be 3 levels of difficulty featured, them being easy, normal, and hardest. As a notable exception, on Kirby's Avalanche, you can also run on hard mode. This difficulty is not gonna add a certain amount of levels or whatever. It will just change the difficulty of the AI and the speed at which the Puyos will fall, similar to the levels of difficulty that you can find on classic Tetris, for example. I'm going to show you the basics of the game by playing through the first stage of Puyo Puyo. So Puyo Puyo is just going to be a chain of 13 levels, and the concept is pretty basic. To eliminate Puyos, you'll need to have 4 Puyos stacked together, and they will disappear. In on itself, it won't do a lot of damage. That's why comboing will make way more damage. Here, I'm going to cover the field with a whole line of bad Puyos for the opponents. And I can chain here, for example, a 4 combo, and that will kill her. How do we die? By filling the 3rd column. Here, the 3rd and the 4th column were covered up to the top, but we die with when we go to the top on the 3rd column. When we go from left to right, you'll notice that there's different patterns for AI, and for each run, what we call the distribution, so how we get attributed Puyos, are randomized. When we speak about the AI, we'll take advantage of that later on onto this video. There's always going to be 5 colors to manage, which are purple, green, red, yellow, and blue. With the beginner tips, I'm going to show you more strategies, early strategies, to improve quickly on speedrunning the game. Base of the scoring system is rather simple. For every 70 points you earn, you get 1 bad Puyo. So that means 1 gray Puyo is going to fall to the opponent side. For the first installment of the game, you cannot counter it, which gives a rather simple strategy to win quickly I mean, not quickly, but pretty pretty easily, and 100 foolproof strategy to win every single level. The strategy here, winning, having a 5 combo, which means that with a succession of 5 Puyos, you're gonna win every single time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it was a pretty fat 5 combo, but any 5 combo will kill your opponent. So that's a pretty foolproof strategy here to progress quickly. So here I'm going to show you to it again. The strategy is really simple. You bounce, so that is 1. Here that's 3. And that's where we're gonna go with the more advanced strategies here. Because here, with only a 3 combo, I managed to kill the enemy. And so that's why this, yes, making a 5 combo is a foolproof strategy, but it's not the best strategy, or at least it's not the weakest strategy. We're gonna have to do something else to get the best runs. And then it will depend on 2 things. 2 things that are inherent to the AI. I mentioned earlier that each AI has a different strategy. There's some AI that are very easy to manipulate. For example, level 4. You'll notice that level 4 piles up to the sides and then goes into the middle, which means that for not a big combo, like here I only got the equivalent of 1 red Puyo, where 2 is usually needed to kill, but I killed level 4 anyway. That's because the Puyos that are not used because it would have been on the top are basically saved for the next for the next session of which means that you'll need less bad Puyos to kill the enemy. The second thing that you'll have to observe, and here that's case by case, it's how the AI manages the 3rd column. Depending on how high the AI has put Puyos on the 3rd column, you can be lighter on how you build your combos, so you will lose less time. But there's also going to be more strategies, and I will talk to that on the last part. Now for the last part, the expert tips and strategies. When I said that the distribution is randomized, it's randomized, but from a pretty limited pool. And sometimes when you're running over and over, you can recognize some patterns, and you can begin to make better and better strategies for each of these recognizable distributions. Here I recognize this distribution. I made a combo that will be almost enough, that will be just enough to kill. And I had here a 28 seconds split, which is pretty good, especially for level 1. And you can apply this when each time you recognize a pattern of how you receive the Puyos. Here, for example, I didn't recognize it, but it's not too bad. I made a 4 combo that's going to be enough to kill, because a 4 combo kills levels 2 and 4 every single time. That's a pretty foolproof, works 90-95% of the time. The only times it doesn't work is because, for example, the AI didn't follow its usual strategy. A skill that is good to have is observing the opponent side when you're building your combo. I'm going to cue here an example on Dr. Robotnik's minion machine. Here I'm going to show you the ending of Dr. Robotnik's minion machine hardest. This is the run of Puyo, and this is the run that got him to tie a world record on the hardest category on Dr. Robotnik's minion machine. And this is stage 13, so the very last one. You'll see here that as the level goes, he's building up to the top. And by the end, he will die due to it. This is how you know you don't have to launch anything here. And 16 seconds is a really fast time. Obviously, not every run is gonna go like that, but CPUs can tend to build really high on the third column sometimes due to the distribution. Observing that is a really nice way to win time by adapting your combo. You may launch a 5 combo at the beginning, but then you see that the opponent put 5 Puyos onto the third column. You're gonna downgrade your combo to a 4 combo. Maybe you have a 5 combo ready. Don't launch it, it's gonna take more time, and you're gonna lose a second or two. Another strategy to win time is to translate heavier combos to smaller combos, but yet more condensed. I'm gonna explain myself. Right? The foolproof strategy is to get a 5 combo. But what if instead of a 5 combo, I made a 4 combo, but heavy onto the last one. For example, here I made a 3 combo, but with 2 colors at the same time at the end, and the power is almost perfectly equivalent to a 4 combo. The same applies for 4 and 5 combos. If at the end of your 4 combo you have 2 different colors, then that's pretty much equivalent to a 5 combo, because the scoring is pretty similar. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It's been the first time in almost 2 years that I've done a tutorial for speedrunning a video game. Obviously, I've changed a lot since then, because at the time I was only speedrunning Cinema Civilization 2. But I wanted to get back to the exercise of making a scripted video, since I haven't done that in a really long time. Like the last one was in September of 2024 for Civilization 2, and I wanted to be more natural on the advices I could give. That's why I was not too extensive on the scoring system, because these are things that people won't be able to calculate live all the time, and I wanted to get some basic concepts to apply run by run over time to upgrade the times and gain consistency. Because for progressing at first, that's not mastering the best combos all the time, it's to gain consistency first. And at some point, you'll get more and more consistent and win a few seconds by a few seconds. I started speedrunning the game 6 months ago, and on hardest for machine, for example, I uh, I went from 13 minutes to now under 9 by being more and more consistent. And that's the key here. It's being consistent, and this and the advices I give in this video help with consistency by observing the CPU and having a good concept of what wins, what's what's the lowest combo that could still win the game, either by just straight up fill up to the top or fill up just high enough so that the CPU dies a few seconds later. I hope you enjoyed this video. I haven't done this kind of video in a really long time, and I would appreciate if just to show support, either by liking the video or even subscribing if you want more either scripted content or just me running games. Um, that I would really appreciate that. Um, so and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And until the next time, uh, probably uploading a run because like I won't do scripted videos too often. Bye. That was Max&Garch.